The modern world is relentless. It fills our calendars, clutters our homes, and bombards our attention with constant notifications and demands. We feel the inevitable result: a chronic state of mental burnout, a relentless low-grade chaos humming beneath the surface of our days. We are desperately searching for a moment of quiet, a genuine reset button for a mind that feels exhausted and overstimulated. The authentic antidote to this modern chaos is not found in grand, expensive retreats, but in the quiet, intentional wisdom practiced by Zen masters and embedded within traditional Japanese culture. This is the ultimate form of minimalism, a practice not just of decluttering our space, but of systematically decluttering our minds, removing the friction and noise that rob us of our peace. Today, we're going to dive deep into 10 powerful, practical minimalist habits drawn directly from the philosophy of Zen. These aren't just aesthetic choices, they are powerful tools of psychological hygiene, small, daily acts of intentionality that prevent the mental chaos from ever taking hold. They teach us to slow down, to pay attention, and to find profound stillness, not by running away from the world, but by finding peace directly within the moments of our everyday lives. These habits are rooted in the ancient tradition of Zen Buddhism, a school of thought that emphasizes rigorous self-control, meditation, and a direct, unadorned experience of reality. The underlying philosophical principles, simplicity, impermanence, and the power of the present moment, are the very foundation of Japanese minimalism. These practices are designed to be integrated into your life not as emergency repairs, but as continuous, preventative maintenance. They are the keys to resetting your mind, not just once, but every single day. Soji, the practice of mindful cleaning. The habit of Soji is perhaps the most fundamental and accessible Zen practice. It translates simply as cleaning, but in a Zen monastery, it is a daily ritual of purification. It is not about reaching a spotless end result. It is about the mindful process of sweeping away physical dust and simultaneously sweeping away mental dust. The practice. Dedicate 10 minutes each morning to cleaning a small, specific area, your desk, your entryway, or your kitchen sink. Do not delegate this task. Do it yourself with your full, singular attention. Notice the texture of the cloth, the smell of the cleaner, and the repetitive motion of your hands. For those 10 minutes, the cleaning is the meditation. You are not thinking about your emails or your to-do list. You are solely focused on the task at hand. The mental reset. This practice directly counters the feeling of being overwhelmed by the accumulation of small, unresolved tasks. The physical act of bringing order to a small space immediately imposes order onto a chaotic mind. It gives you a quick, reliable win first thing in the morning, creating a powerful psychological foundation of control and accomplishment. By treating the cleaning as a meditative practice, you remove the mental resistance and resentment we often attach to chores, transforming obligation into a state of intentional presence. The 1-minute ma is a core Japanese concept that translates as gap, space, or pause. It is the intentional cultivation of emptiness, not as a void, but as a space of potential and reflection. In our non-stop world, we fill every sliver of time with input, scrolling, listening, checking. This constant stimulation suffocates the mind. The practice. Integrate a 1-minute pause into the transitions of your day. Before opening your computer to start work, pause for 60 seconds. Before eating a meal, pause for 60 seconds. When you arrive home but before you walk through the door, pause for 60 seconds. Close your eyes, let your hands rest, and simply observe your breath without trying to change it. Your goal is not to stop thinking, but to create a designated space where no new input is allowed to enter your system. The mental reset. This habit is a direct reset button for your nervous system. By creating intentional gaps, you break the cycle of reactivity and momentum that carries you unconsciously from one task to the next. The 1-minute allows your mind to release the residual stress from the previous activity and approach the next one from a position of stillness and conscious choice. It prevents the mental clutter creep that piles up when your mind never gets a break between stimuli. Kodo, the scent of presence. Kodo, or the way of incense, is one of the 3 classical Japanese arts of refinement. It is a profound practice of appreciating fine fragrance as a means of cultivating sensory awareness and anchoring the mind in the present moment. Most of our mental clutter is auditory or visual. Kodo uses the sense of smell to bypass the logical, racing brain. The practice: choose a very simple, high-quality natural scent, such as sandalwood, cedar, or a clean essential oil like cypress. Establish a ritual of lighting or diffusing this scent for exactly 15 minutes when you begin a task that requires deep focus, or when you are transitioning out of a stressful activity. Use the scent as a physical anchor. If your mind drifts to anxiety or distraction, gently bring your attention back to the subtle, steady presence of the fragrance. The mental reset. Scents are powerful memory triggers and are processed in the limbic system, which governs emotion and memory. By consistently associating a single, simple fragrance with a state of calm and focus, you create a conditioned mental trigger. This habit is a minimalist approach to mindfulness, instantly signaling to your brain, this is the time for presence. It provides a steady, singular sensory input that crowds out the chaotic, multiple inputs of daily mental noise. Fukinsei, the asymmetry of acceptance. Zen aesthetics prize Fukinsei, which is the beauty of asymmetry and irregularity. It is the recognition that nothing in nature is perfectly symmetrical or flawless, and that this imbalance is where life and beauty reside. The mind's greatest source of stress is the rigid demand for perfection in ourselves, our lives, and our environment. The practice. Identify one thing in your home or your routine that you often criticize or want to fix. It might be an uneven stack of books, a slightly crooked picture frame, or a mistake you made yesterday. Instead of correcting it, dedicate a moment to appreciating its irregularity. Look at it and internally say, this is perfectly imperfect. In your daily mental landscape, when you catch yourself demanding a flawless outcome from yourself or a situation, consciously invoke the Fukinsei mindset. The flaw is the feature. The mental reset. This habit directly confronts the mental rigidity and self-criticism that fuel anxiety. By accepting physical imperfection, you train your mind to accept emotional imperfection. It is a profound act of mental release, freeing up the massive amount of energy that is wasted on the impossible pursuit of a flawless reality. This practice resets your mind from a state of critical judgment to a state of gentle acceptance, which is the foundation of inner peace. The single task focus. Ichigo Zamai. The Zen concept of Ichigo Zamai translates to single practice samadhi, or deep, absolute concentration on one thing. In the monastery, if a monk is sweeping, they are only sweeping. If they are eating, they are only eating. The modern mind believes multitasking is efficient, but Zen teaches that it is the fastest route to distraction, depletion, and error. The practice. Choose one activity each day, washing dishes, writing a single paragraph, or having a conversation, and commit to doing that thing and only that thing. Put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications. If your mind begins to drift to the 2 other things you could be doing, gently bring it back to the single task at hand, using your hands or your breath as the anchor. The depth of your attention is the measure of your success, not the speed of completion. The mental reset. This habit is the ultimate reset for the fragmented, depleted, modern mind. Multitasking doesn't save time. It creates a neurological chaos known as attention residue, where the mental debris of the previous task contaminates the next. Ichigo Zamai trains your focus muscle, allowing your mind to deeply rest in the singular rhythm of the present. It eliminates the feeling of being perpetually scattered and restores a sense of profound, quiet competence. The 70% rule, Hara Hachi Bu. Hara Hachi Bu is the Confucian teaching adopted by Okinawan culture, meaning eat until you are 80% full. In the minimalist context, we expand this concept to the 70% rule, the intentional practice of moderation across all areas of consumption, deliberately stopping short of capacity. The practice. Apply the 70% rule to 3 areas: food, digital input, and tasks. When eating, stop before you feel stuffed. When consuming digital media, deliberately stop before you feel mentally saturated, ending your session with a clean. When scheduling your day, intentionally plan for only 70% capacity, leaving the remaining 30% empty for unexpected events, reflection, or simple rest. The mental reset. Overconsumption, whether of food, information, or obligations, is a massive drain on mental and physical energy. The 70% rule is a preventative measure against overwhelm. By consistently stopping before you are completely full, your mind remains light, agile, and ready for the next moment. You eliminate the mental sluggishness and burnout that come from constantly pushing past your natural limits. It's a habit that fosters self-trust and discipline through the gentle power of restraint. Digital Danshari. Danshari, the famous philosophy of conscious letting go, is most often applied to physical objects, but its most profound application today is to the digital world. Our phones, inboxes, and cloud storage are the final frontiers of clutter, and they carry a massive, invisible cognitive load. The practice. Commit to a small but consistent practice of digital Danshari. This means deleting 20 unused apps from your phone, unsubscribing from 10 email newsletters that no longer serve you, or deleting 100 old, unnecessary files or screenshots from your device. Do not just clean your phone's home screen. Actually, eliminate the source of the clutter. The RI, or detachment, involves silencing notifications that aren't tied to people you actively need to hear from, freeing your attention from their constant, demanding pull. The mental reset. Every notification, every unread email, and every unused app is a tiny, unresolved decision demanding your attention. By systematically removing this digital debris, you are performing a deep mental cleanse. You reduce the number of potential decision points your brain must process each day, significantly lowering your overall background anxiety and restoring your ability to focus on the things that truly matter. It is the ultimate act of guarding your attention. Shoshin, beginner's mind ritual. Shoshin is the Zen concept of beginner's mind, referring to an attitude of openness, eagerness, and lack of preconceptions when studying a subject, even when studying at an advanced level. Most of our mental fatigue comes from boredom and the unconscious assumption that we already know everything about our routine. The practice. Choose one mundane, repetitive task you do every day: brushing your teeth, walking the same route to your car, or making your bed. Approach this task with Shoshin. Pretend you are performing it for the very first time. Notice the colors, the textures, the light, the subtle movements of your body. Ask yourself, what would a child see right now? Suspend your judgment and your mental script about the task and simply observe the fresh reality of the moment. The mental reset. This habit is a direct intervention against the mental numbness of routine. It resets your perception, transforming a draining, unconscious chore into an exciting, conscious exercise in awareness. By shifting your focus from the known to the new, you reignite the neural pathways associated with curiosity and presence. It's a quick, free way to inject vitality and mindful energy into the otherwise exhausting repetition of daily life. The only essential clothing wardrobe. While not strictly a Zen term, the highly curated minimalist wardrobe is a direct application of the Zen preference for functional simplicity and the reduction of unnecessary choices. A bloated closet is a physical symbol of indecision and consumption. The practice. Take one small step toward an only essential wardrobe. This is not about cutting down to 10 items. but about identifying and removing the 20% of your clothes that you actively dislike or never wear. Store the rest out of sight, leaving only the clothes you genuinely love and feel good in easily accessible. The goal is to reduce your morning decision to less than 1 minute. Apply this rule. If it requires contemplation, it should not be in the essential wardrobe. The mental reset. The moment you open your closet and feel paralyzed by choice, you are engaging in decision fatigue before your day has even begun. This habit frees up that cognitive energy. By simplifying your routine, you automate a non-essential decision, reserving your precious mental bandwidth for tasks that actually require critical thought and creativity. It gives you a sense of easy confidence and competence first thing in the morning, setting a minimalist tone for the entire day. Zazen. The posture of stillness. Zazen, or seated meditation, is the central practice of Zen Buddhism. It is not an esoteric act, it is the simple, intentional practice of sitting still and observing the mind. All the other habits lead to this ability to rest in stillness. The practice. Integrate 3 minutes of Zazen into your day, not just when you have time, but as a mandatory, non-negotiable pause. Find a comfortable, upright posture on a cushion or chair. Set a timer. Close your eyes or soften your gaze to the floor. Focus your entire attention on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind drifts, and it will, gently acknowledge the thought, release it without judgment, and return your attention to your breath. The mental reset. Zazen is the ultimate mind reset because it trains the mind to resist its own impulse for movement and chaos. It doesn't attempt to stop your thoughts, but rather to change your relationship with them. By practicing Zazen, you gain the inner stillness to observe your mental clutter without being pulled into it. This detachment is the highest form of peace, allowing you to move through your day with a grounded center, rather than being swept away by the constant currents of external and internal noise. These 10 habits, woven into the routine of your everyday life, are not merely a set of rules for a tidy home. They are a profound and powerful commitment to mental clarity. They are a journey of intentionality, a way to design a life where peace is not a goal you strive for, but the natural default setting you return to again and again. The beauty of Zen minimalism is that you don't have to be a monk in a mountain temple to access this wisdom. You can begin right now in the midst of your busy life. Do not try to implement all 10 habits at once. That would be the opposite of the Kanso simplicity we seek. Instead, choose just one of these 10 practices. Will you spend 1 minute in Ma before checking your phone? Will you practice Soji by mindfully cleaning your desk? Choose the one that resonates most, commit to it today, and take the first brave, intentional step toward reclaiming the beautiful, quiet landscape of your mind.